and welcome to Billy Ho Sports. This is your go-to channel for the complete course breakdown of your opening salvo, building your weekly DFS lineups for PGA golf. Thrilled to have you joining me, ready for some high drama, hopefully some good Sunday sweats. And quite a lot has transpired over the offseason with the defection of Jon Rahm to the LIV Tour. That's all a debate for another day. But I'm going to be providing a weekly course preview and DFS preview show in alike. You know, where if we've got pricing, we'll do pricing. If we've got the field loaded, we'll do all that good stuff too. But mainly, I'm going to focus on the course breakdown and show you what the course looks like, what kind of players will play well, and then and toward the end, stick around and we'll jump on to DraftKings and Rick Run Good's website and take a look at the field of 60. So today we are going to kick off our journey with a special focus on the stunning Kapalua Plantation Golf Course in Hawaii, overlooking the Pacific Ocean in the northernmost part of Maui. Iconic golf course has played the Tournament of Champions, hosted by Sentry since its inception in 1999. So let's check out the golf course. Course was designed by Ben Crenshaw and Bill Coore. First opened up in 1991. Course is famous for its wide fairways. If you're familiar with PGA golf, these are amongst the widest and easiest fairways to hit on all of the tour. But it's also famous for undulating terrain and large, fast-ish greens. They're not really like fast as in stimp meter fast, but they are undulating and breaking, so you have to be on the right quadrant of the greens. As you're watching the flyover, you can really see the elevation changes, and pay particular attention to how some of these flags are blowing in the wind, because that's the only real defense the golf course has is the wind. So if you look back at, say, 2020, when Justin Thomas won at a mere 14 under par, the wind played a huge factor. But then Cam Smith's victory back in 2022, he shot like 34 under because there was perfect conditions. So basically, when it comes to skill sets, the long, aggressive players have the advantage and the ability to attack pins, make those crucial birdies. The ones who aren't afraid to attack pins are another one that can set themselves apart, obviously. And yet on this forgiving golf course, the ultimate decider will come down to the flat stick. It is going to be strong tee to green game essential, but he who rolls the rock will win the golf tournament. That's what I think. So if you want specifics on like stat models and everything like that, what I would suggest is start off with strokes gained off the tee. If you're new to this sport, strokes gained off the tee, strokes gained approach, those two combined equal ball striking. So those three together should probably be your majority of your weighted stats, say at least a third of it. Also, I'm going to split my emphasis on tee to green and around the green together. That'll be a small percentage. I'm putting that on the screen sometime along the way here. But this is going to be one of the heavier weeks on putting, like I said. So basically putting stats like putting on Bermuda, putting from 10 to 20 feet, approach putting, which is like your average distance after your first putt. So if you're 25 feet out and you roll it up to 3 feet, that's really good for approach putting. That also kind of helps with the 3-putt avoidance stat, which is important on big greens like these. There's another one on Rick's site specific that's called bonus putting, which is a combination of putts made over 20 feet and then inside 5 feet. So all that, and then I'll put the rest on the course history gift certificate pack. Now, when we're looking at our 60-man field, we are going to take a look at DraftKings, Rick Run Good, and the cheat sheet. So let's get started on that. Okay, looking at our 60-man player pool, my first instinct, going over here to DraftKings so we can look at actual pricing and lineups, my first instinct was to kind of go balanced without how the pricing just drops drastically. I mean, Scheffler's only $11K flat, and then you're immediately the third player down, and you're already getting third, fourth player down. You're in the nines. So I thought, well, you can do balance, but after I looked down at the lower range guys down here, and we'll get to those in a few, I thought, well, you can double stack down there and then really, really go up top. So we're going to have to see how popular Scotty Scheffler is going to be this week compared to Rory McIlroy. And then I guess you could probably tinker in Victor Hovland along that. I think Xander starts the second tier of players where you got Xander, Cantlay, Homa, those types. But I think the top three, and actually the one I would probably lean toward fading the most is Victor Hovland, because he doesn't seem to have the best record here. He's got, like the 18th finish in 2023 is among his better, if you're up this high, you've got to finish in the top five, which he is a great scorer, but he's been here multiple times and has yet to really, really push the envelope on as far as scoring goes. So maybe it just doesn't suit his eye. It might be the undulations in the fairway or whatever. But anyway, Rory hasn't been here in a while. He rarely plays this tournament, even though he does win every year. But he's coming this year, and he has had good history in the past. So if he's a super big discount off of Scotty, then I might look for that. But it's only $200 difference in salary. So I'm really, really not going to be looking into that. But Rory is an unknown, and he can come out and dominate. But like I said, if I'm not getting a big ownership discount, it's not worth the risk for the $200, because we know how Scotty gets down. Dude makes a ton of birdies coming off that great win at the Hero. He played lights out as usual, but finally was a net positive on the greens. So he's worth the 11K if he's even or better or close to even putting, because he just makes an absolute ton of birdies. So like course key stats we were looking at, this is course fit from Rick's site, and you can see Aberg's up there, and I'll get to him in just a second. But Xander is another one. I don't know if he'll go forgotten or not, but he absolutely tears it up here normally. And the 9K range looks pretty fine. But he had to withdraw last year because he had a back issue, but it wasn't a super big deal, but it did keep him out of this tournament. And I think maybe the next one, but it wasn't like a lingering injury. It was just like back spasms, and it just happened at the wrong time. So you can ignore that WD and assume he's going to be pushing the top five envelope. We haven't seen him since he dominated at Eastlake like he normally does, and I think he didn't do so good at the Zozo. But I think he'll come in here ready to rock as normal. The 9K range, like I said, looks fine, but I could live with skipping it. Not altogether, but like guys like Cantlay, Homa, Clark, Fitzy, all those guys, and even nobody plays Harmon. So I might small interest in Harmon, because he could, if he's like super low owned, could be some pivots. Terrell Hatton has no history here, but this seems like a course that would fit his eye very well. Morikawa has obviously played here very well. He's finished second last year. As long as he can putt and make a putt, he is going to ball strike the hell out of this golf course. So then you got guys underneath, Fleetwood, Kim, Spieth, and then we get to Aberg. Now, obviously, Aberg is going to be the most popular guy, maybe even on the entire slate. He's way too underpriced at $8,700 for what he's accomplished in the last fall season since he got his tour card. I mean, the guy just gains a ton ball striking, gains a ton tee to green, mashes it off the tee, accurately mashing it, can roll the rock, putters, gain nearly a stroke on Bermuda. Those 19 strokes he gained at the RSM in the win, eye-popping. So I'll have to get different somewhere else, because I've got to have some Aberg in my life this week. Can't deny playing him. Ricky's another interesting guy. He hasn't been here in a while because he hasn't won, but he's back in the saddle again. So he has had decent history here. Tony Finau looked like he had a good showing at the Hero. I played him there at a discounted ownership. Other guys like Tom Kim and Sungjae in the 8Ks are all capable. Sungjae's proven it before, and so is Tom the Tank. So those kind of guys are great ball strikers, and all they need to do is get a little help with the flat stick, and they will score. So the 7,000 range is where I think you have to be right. So not looking to get sucked into these guys up here like Sepp Straka, who finished second at the Hero. Definitely not Henley or Rose or even Thigala, Corey Connors, all these guys until you get to Eric Cole. Eric Cole's a different kind of animal, in my opinion. So down here, I would gladly actually go down here to Cameron Davis, and he might be popular, but I think I thought he was ready to turn a corner last year, but he got some sort of odd illness that kept him down for the first couple of months of the season, and then he came on toward the end. So that unfortunate illness did cost him some time, but he crushed it here in 2022. So I think he'll play well again. He's a guy I'd play. People might go to JT Poston, and really it would just be if Poston just rolls the rock like a fool is how he would do well here. Harris English, not really sure how he won it a few years ago, but his game doesn't follow suit with my opinion. Like other guys, like Cole's going to be super popular. The guy, one problem he has is he sucks off the tee, but he makes up for it everywhere else. He's a monster with the irons, savvy around the green. Oh, and by the way, he can putt. Number 2 in total putting, number 2 in 3-putt avoidance, number 2 in putts per round. So yeah, you got to have some Coley Cole. And extra wide fairways will help with the poor accuracy. So I'm looking good there. And then you got guys down here, more than capable guys. Honestly, if you start rolling down here and looking into the 7K range, and as soon as I get down to the bottom here, we'll jump over to DraftKings and build a semi lineup. But what I'm seeing up here is possibly guys. I mean, any one of these guys. I think maybe Adam Schenk has some of my interest because he is a pretty good Bermuda putter and he does mash it off the tee pretty good. Can take advantage of the greens and regulation, high percentage there, and he is a positive putter. So, and guys like him, Todd Benyon, resurgence last year with the flat stick, helping him out a ton. Hoagie got hot here last year and struck like 10 strokes on approach, finished third. But down here, a little bit more, 3 guys I'm interested in is Bhatia, List, and Hardy. They're 62, 62, 61. Bhatia can just score in bunches. He's good at all categories, and he can hit it far. List is rounding back into form. You can see this is a positive putting stat right here recently. And so he has got that win, and then he's got nothing but, like top 20s and stuff. And he had that 11th place finish. So I think if you want to hand me a guy at 6,200 that's going to score me 100 DraftKings points, I'll take it. So like 2 guys down low here. I'm not sure about anybody else. Putnam, not long enough off the tee, but can putt, roll the rock. Lee Hodges was a guy I was slightly interested in as well. A dude that can putt on Bermuda, but not super long off the tee either, but can strike it when he gets hot. So anyway, we're going to finish off the show here, going over here like this. And what I want to do is I just start straight up down here. Like I said, I like List and Bhatia. So I'm going to put both of those guys in there, and now I immediately can go up top and do anything I want. I can go Scotty Too Hottie, give me some Xander Love, and we'll toss in Aberg. And then you still got 7,900 to pick whoever you want down here. If you're feeling Straka or Henley, Thigala scores. He's a monster sometimes. So any one of these dudes, 7,900 for your last guy in. And then you got 3 guys that have super high win equity, in my opinion. You're in good shape. The Holy Grail, I think I showed you this earlier, but this was just kind of a mishmash of, since Rick didn't have the custom model ready yet. This was just a mashup of like some easy courses like John Deere, Sony, Mexico Open at Vedanta, which is wide open fairways, Heritage undulation in the fairways, Travelers the same way. That's how Pete Dye does it. So I kind of mixed them all in there over the last 3 years, and then just went with fantasy data. And you can see Rory, but that's only 2 starts. Cam Davis that's where that struck me. 82% DK scoring. Aberg only 2 starts, but still way up there. So guys like that, see, you can look down, and even Justin Rose can sometimes do it, but that's Fitzy, And then there's Xander, obviously, birdie or better, way up there in the birdie or better department. That's what I like to look at too. Rory 6.25 in the two starts he had. So things of that nature is what you want to look at. Scoring, scoring, scoring. Obviously, all the DK stats apply to your models. But that's going to do it. Certainly do appreciate you joining me today for the first of many PGA Tour course previews to come. So share and share alike. Until the next time, we'll see you soon.